All right, we've got the market data in through the end of August 2023, and here's what you need to know for the Boise area. The top three things are, number one, inventory is pretty flat, but it's still a strong buyer's market. Number two, sales prices are down almost 5% year to date. And number three, the thing I want you to stick around for is we're going to talk a little bit about what would cause inventory to potentially go up or down, and then what would cause pricing to go up or down, and a little bit of a prediction for you. So if you're interested in that, watch the rest of this video. All right, let's take a deeper dive at the first thing we talked about, which is inventory is pretty flat. So we're going to zoom into this market data here in the top left side, and let's go ahead and take a quick peek about what's happening here. So just a reminder, this represents Ada County existing homes, so resale homes. It does not include new construction. Now, we do have this data specifically for new construction. We separate the two because those markets typically are a little bit different, and I'm happy to dive in myself, or any of our agents at City Trees Real Estate would be happy to dive into you on what those differences are. So this red line represents active listings. So you can see a year ago today, we had almost double the amount of inventory on the market, which is kind of crazy to think about because I think a year ago today, the market was difficult, but I would say people might even argue it's more difficult today. Well, why would they argue that? Well, look, I mean, you have twice as many homes on the market last year as you did this year. Not quite twice, but I mean, we're down, gosh, a significant amount to 943 homes on the market on the existing side. Now you can see we actually had more sales this time last year, but in proportion to how many homes were on the market, we're definitely selling more of the homes on the market today than we did this time last year. So I guess if I was a seller looking at this data, I would think, man, it's probably a decent time to put my home on the market, because they're still buying them at the similar rate that they were last year with twice as many homes on the market. So let's look at the data a little bit further on the inventory side. So this data is kind of broken out. It breaks it out in different price ranges, and I'm not going to nerd out too much on this. I just want to show you what these all mean. So this first column is active listings. The next one's pending, then sold. We actually sold for the last 12 months. We actually take that sold data for the last 12 months and we divide it into the active listings to come up with the months of inventory. So for example, let's take the $400,000 to $500,000 range. There's 216 homes on the market right now in Ada County. In the last 12 months, we sold 1,546, which means those 216 represent 1.7 months of supply. Now, just a reminder for you guys, since this might not, this might be your first video you watched here, a buyer's market is considered when there is more than 7 months of supply. A seller's market is less than 5 months of supply. And 5 to 7 months is considered a balanced market. So there's only 1.7 months of supply. That means it's still a really strong seller's market, even with rates being higher and demand slowing a little bit. If the inventory is still so low that sellers are able to, ask a price and typically get it if they price it correctly. So still a great time. I think the big takeaway here is if you are considering selling your home, it's still a great time to do that. Now, sold prices, we'll go down to this side here. This shows you the last basically 10 years of sales data. You can see the average sold price and then what it's done. Well, this year, it's the first year we've had negative growth in sales price, and it's negative 4.6%. So that's interesting. This doesn't mean that home prices are, if your home was worth $100,000 a year ago, then today it's worth 95.4. It doesn't mean that exactly. This just means that the average home that's selling is 4.6% less than the average home that was selling a year ago. So that could be the prices. It could be the types of homes that are selling. It could be a combination of both. So very, very interesting. Some other interesting data. If you look at this, again, this first column's active, then pending, then sold. This first one, the average active price is $786. The average pending is $650, so 120 grand less, and the average sold is $580, so 60 grand less. So we have a lot of these homes at the higher end that just are not selling as quickly as the homes at the lower end. So that's what that data shows to me. And if you look at the price point here, you can see the months of supply. When you get over 800, we're at 3 months of supply. 1 to 1.5 million, 3.9. You get up to 1.5 million plus, we're 7.5 months or 14.2 months. So you're in what's considered a buyer's market if you're spending over $1.5 million in the Ada County or Boise area. And we actually have quite a few buyers at City of Trees here that are in that price point, and they're able to get what they want and negotiate what they want. So how does this end up changing? Like, what's going to be the thing that causes this market to shift? So something I think I want you to be aware of, like, why is inventory about half of what it was the same time last year? You would think with prices, coming down and rates going up, that buyers would just stop buying and therefore more homes would come on the market. But there's this interesting phenomenon right now. This is happening all over the country, and Boise's no different. It's the fact that people are sitting in their home, they want to sell, but they're looking at the interest rates and they're thinking, man, if I sell right now and I have a 3 or 4 or 5% interest rate, and I'm going to trade it up for like a 6, 7, 7.5% interest rate, like, I don't really want to do that. So these sellers want to sell, but they're not putting their home on the market. So we as real estate professionals today, we have to come up with creative ways to help buyers. And there's so many creative ways right now you can help buyers if you're working with the right agent and the right lender. And fortunately here at City of Trees Real Estate, we actually have a lot of top lending partners we work with that can help us with strategies to get your payment to be something that you're comfortable with, even in this high interest rate environment. So if you're interested in finding out about that, be sure to reach out to us because we'd love to set you up with our lender and show you how you can make that work. There's also some other creative things you can do. For example, you can do assumable loans. If we, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of loans are actually assumable. So if there's a 3% loan on the property and that person wants to move, you might be able to assume that loan and take over the debt they have on it. It's a little complicated in terms of like equity and bringing down payment in. So just come talk to us and we can show you how you can actually make that work as a potential option. So what's going to cause this to change? Well, I believe interest rates, if they do come down, I believe you'll start to see a flood of buyers. I personally believe that. So right now, interest rates are somewhere between 7.5%. If we see those rates come down to the low 6s or even high 5s, I think inventory, will be actually kind of balanced. It'll stay where it's at because a lot of sellers will be like, yes, I'm going to list my house. So more inventory comes on the market, but you're going to have a ton of buyers saying, yes, I can finally afford the house I want to buy. So what's going to cause rates to come down? Well, you can watch the video we did in June. We talked a little bit about the rate side of things. Right now, the economy is still very strong, and they want to make sure that inflation is put away before they move on from anything there. So, what's the next step on causing this to go one way or the other? Really, I believe rates are the big driver, the big driver for sure. But in real estate, there's always people moving, okay, in every market. I've been doing this. This is my 19th year now, so I've been through a couple of these cycles, and even in the worst markets, people are still buying and people are still selling. There's someone passes away and they need to sell their house. Maybe there's a new couple getting together, getting married, or a growing family. They need to buy a house, or someone's getting relocated for a job. All the things. There's a lot more life happenings that come to play and cause people to buy and sell. So if you're looking to buy and sell in this market, be sure to reach out to us at City Trees Real Estate. We'd love to help answer your questions. And now more than ever, you need an agent that knows how to navigate the market. Your cousins, brothers, neighbors, mailman who also has a real estate license is not the person you want to engage with in this market. Get a second opinion from us. Let's see if we can offer different things. And of course, you can choose the best option for you after your interview. But be sure to interview agents in this market and give City of Trees a shot at that option, whether it's buying or selling. So for all of us here at City of Trees Real Estate, thank you so much for watching this video, and we look forward to talking to you about your real estate goals. Have an amazing day.